Welcome back. We're here to cover the Divine Masculine's energy. Yes, we cover this week by week. And if you do want this content pre-release, we do have this hosted via a YouTube membership at this point in time. Early 2025, we are launching a brand new membership. Stay tuned for that information, as we will have brand new content both to YouTube and to the members edition. Now, November is looking very interesting for Divine Masculine, especially in the context of their karmic relationship and feelings they hold for Divine Feminine. We do have some big transitions these individuals are coming up through, and with the crowning energy, I already see this playing out for them. We do have a feeling that we are really desiring to chop things out of our life, and there is this feeling of pressure. This also can be really in their day-to-day routine, the things that they feel they need to restructure, and circumstances. It can feel a little bit like an eat, pray, repeat, and the tension points definitely can be here, especially through transitions spiritually with their energy that they're having. We do have our first lunation, which is going to be a new moon in Scorpio, very, very Mars in nature, and their energy directly is governed by Mars. We're also going to be having a Mercury retrograde. It can be in its shadow as we do move into the month, and we will discuss those things with our energy reports. The other thing is Mars enters Leo on the 4th of November, and for, again, these individuals, they can really be shining light on where they're going and the direction they're feeling at this point in time. Look, I really do feel spiritually and especially psychically tuning into this. They're wanting to cut through things. They're wanting to actually tune into things, and they're feeling as though some things in their life aren't resonating. You know, as they're moving through this, they're looking back to the past of where maybe they were more at peace with things. Maybe it was something that they were comfortable with initially, but now not so. But what they're really looking to is, you know, what directly were they doing when they had that feeling? Was there more detachment? Was there more alignment of the truth of what they wanted? And again, it can feel with the past position, especially this card drops down to a 5. It's about the big changes that they need to make. Maybe they have gone through some big changes. Maybe this has always been taking them to their true north of their destiny. And they're really, really looking at this piece and where this piece came from. And I feel, you know, sometimes it's about making those choices that are going to take us to, you know, that peaceful space. So what can that look like for the Divine Masculine? It can particularly be the things that they feel they need to chop out of their life that is well overdue. And, you know, again, the eat, pray, repeat, the things that they're doing, individuals, people, places, and things. In the heart of it, they're just looking at life and they're feeling they've gone well to the edge of this. And, you know, for them, it's like they're also really looking at the shadow of, you know, how they feel inside of love, how they let people in. The people that they have let in the past, and the places it's taken them to. So this pressure point for them, especially where it relates to commitments, communities, the most intimate connections, the pressure's really on. We have TikTok here. We've got this energy from a spiritual point of view through this card. It's stating it's a TikTok, and it's like something really moving and really grasping the actions, the things that they need to do to actually break this time barrier, break this belief that they actually do need to, at this point in time, address these things. So directly we can see through these cards that for Divine Masculine, they're feeling time restrained. They're feeling they need to address their time and what they're doing with it. They're feeling they need to address individuals and people and places and things that are really taking up a lot of their energy. Some are retreating back, maybe going into a little bit of hermit mode. This is removing themselves from toxic situations to gain a bit of clarity. This could come through due to feeling run down and unwell and, you know, overworked and underpaid. So sometimes it can come through in a physical circumstance. But I do definitely feel they're taking a little bit of space, or they're feeling that they need to permanently cut these situations out of their life, which we will go back and clarify. They do have this huge revelation, though, from this kind of perspective that they gained through this process, that there's some things they don't want to resurrect. There's some things they feel have outlived their life cycle, and the pressure has showed them even more so of the things they do like and the things they don't. That's not to say that we won't, for the right reasons, do things we don't like for a temporary basis to get to where we want to be. But there does seem to be this lingering situation that has really caused them a bugbear. Okay, there could also be a friend that is actually trying to give them some advice. And, from a justice point of view, they could be thinking that something isn't going to go according to plan. If they are in a karmic relationship, this can be seeking counsel, this can be seeking advice. This also could be friends really placing their opinions on this individual to do with being fair, to do with being kind, and trying to find that balance with it. But I definitely do see this as to do with a relationship for some. Again, I just get this real strong feeling that they're having to use their power with it. They're taking the power back. They're really, it's in their hands. They know what they need to do. They also know that sometimes when they're needing to make this decision, the initial thought process they were having is, how is this going to be looked upon? Is this going to be just? Could this have a dire consequence if I choose this particular path, especially with my twin flame? If I do move towards that, knowing the things that they need to resolve. It's so funny, the outcome card, and this is the first thing I was saying to do with Divine Feminine. The first thing is this individual really does want to come home to you. This individual also wants to come home to themselves. And why do I say that? You can really see it coming through with the cards. Knowing what they need to chop out in their life, being at the door, the precipice of moving from one side of life to another, really shifting. They do have two options here, but the option that they were living with was one in which they spiritually have outgrown. And the arrow is really showing a movement off to the right here to do something in the correct way, that there is going to be a victory. This is going to be massive change. They will need to take the steps, the tedious steps, in order to achieve this. And then also looking to the past position, really having this revelation of wanting to make peace with Divine Feminine, wanting to make peace with their own life, and hatching a new plan, laying a new egg, a new life, a new family, a new dynamic, something new in their life where they can rest their head down and they can feel at peace. They're willing to do the hard yards with this. They're willing to put the work in, but they do feel that a lot of this is, making peace with the decision. Also, a lot of times we do not spiritually feel at peace with decisions we're making, even if they're hard and they might be shunned upon, is because we are concerned about those things. But when we know the brutal truth inside ourselves and it's impacting every facet of our life, we do have a bit more clarity about the fact that that very decision is not only something in our minds and our hearts, but it's also just the only equation that is directly possible. And yes, if there is casualties from that situation or a throwback of it because we have to make a pivot to the left or right, we're far more willing to do such. Because why? Because we know how we were in the past, that we're missing that vibration of who we used to be, trying to make peace with the past, but also trying to make peace with the decisions in the here and now that we're making to bring us to this state. Now we look to the outcome, and this is no place like home. And I feel, especially with Mars and Cancer and then moving into Leo, it can be that inner child, that insecurity. It also can be that hero that is really fighting for something and having these pivotal changes happening. We're going to move into clarifying, but I really do feel Divine Masculine here is ready to chop things out. It is really feeling that pressure point to make some radical changes. Now we'll pull a clarifier on the crowning for an additional view of anything else they wish to tell us through this situation. And if you do want next week's edition, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell, and as they're out, you will get your notifications. Okay, yeah, this is to do with love. It's like, okay, I need to leave some things behind. I need to make some changes in my life, or, for love to grow, for love to return, for love to be in a place of grace and stability and peace. Okay, what have they made peace with to do with the past? What is this viewpoint of going to please? All these changes that they feel they've either gone through, and thus it's brought them to a very peaceful space to make these very hard decisions. Yeah, it's been thoughts, it's been actions, it's been some information that's come in. For some, there was a thought, yeah, it's to do with the karmic path for some. This also, again, they're showing me on the opposite spectrum. There's yin and yang. There's a bit of a conversation going on here. We do have some communication. We do have an end of a contract. This can be a physical partnership, romantic, or it could be an employment contract. But there's something shifting. We go back to the crowning energy, and it is, like I said, they're chopping some things out. And it could have been in their daily routine. It could have been a physical situation that was very heavy and impacting their future movements. I do see these individuals having something really wrapping up at this point in time. Okay, what do we need to know about the heart of this, please? Okay, they're going to be happy about something that didn't, is coming to an end. It's so funny. It's almost like they're mentioning this could be Thanksgiving or Christmas and having a bright new future, having a bit of time where they can have some spiritual freedom to be able to sow the seeds in the direction they're desiring to go. Okay, they're moving away from groups, especially ones that don't resonate with them, especially with placing priority over divine feminine. Ooh, there's a bit of a challenge here. For some, it could be that divine masculine is sensing another person can be occupying a seat. This can be them actually realizing they could run out of time. They need to level up. Yeah, this is a worry. This is like, gosh, I need to get a move on. I need to move this space. I need to be the best version of myself. Especially where it comes to a karmic individual, they're actually saying there's no resurrection of that. There is really a downturn in that location, and both parties really weren't on the same page. I do see an apology. I do see DM, yeah, this could be even for some of you coming to your workplace, maybe commenting on something that you've written, but, it feels as though they're wanting to make this work, and they do feel that you put a lot of energy and attention in. You have been hurt in the past. I just get this apology. Oh, God, they're very worried. Somebody's maybe giving them some information. It could be that they're watching you, or it could be that they're getting information through the grapevine. They could be spying and wondering if you've actually moved forward. There are these insecurities and jealousies cropping up there. But again, I do see them moving towards you and actually desiring something a whole lot more. It's almost like the world is your oyster, I'm hearing. I'm hearing that they want to offer a lot more. This could be living in the same home. This could be taking a connection. Oh, shit, that just jumped. What have we got? Yeah, wanting to bring something back from the dead. Wanting to offer full commitment and passion. This person's really passionately thinking about you, Divine Feminine. Wow, this is going to be a huge change. Chalk and cheese, I'm hearing. You could almost feel as though this person is, what's that movie? Mr. Summersby. I think it's Mr. Summersby. Tell me in the chat. It's like this person's changed overnight. And you're like, where's the catch? Where's the catch? We'll check in with this next week. If you do want to see the next edition, stay tuned. Otherwise, I will see you on the other side. Take care, beautifuls, and tell me how this lands. Very interesting.